Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Welcome you all again in the virtual learning system of Pakistan International School Taif, Saudi Arabia. Dear students, as you know that this is Pakistan International School Taif virtual class for class second year students, subject computer science, and today is our 49th lecture. Teacher name Imran Ahmed. Dear students, as you know that in the previous lecture we were discussing about the chapter number 5, which was belonging to the arrays and strings. In this chapter we discussed the different kinds of array. Two types of array was there. Arrays, definition of array is homogeneous set of data elements stored in a consecutive memory location is known as array, and arrays elements were accessed through index number which they occupy. After the arrays, we have discussed the strings, the definition of string. Combination of different characters makes a string. It means that arrays belongs to the data type integer and float, and the string was belonging to the data type of type character. So according to the definitions and the lab activities, short question, long question, I checked whole chapter we have covered in the exercise. So no other topics was there except the other than the exercise. Today our new chapter, chapter number 6 is functions. According to the Federal Board reduced syllabus, functions chapter number 6 have only one part, which is 6.1 functions. If I see the book, there are three topics, 3, 6.1, 6.2, and 6.3 are there. But according to the reduced syllabus of Federal Board, they included only the first part, 6.1. And we will discuss those which are belonging to the 6.1 topics. First question in the exercise is belong to the, I check the other exercise, nearly whole exercise except two questions, or we will leave two questions we will not study. Rest all the questions belonging to the question topic number 6.1. 6.1 included first of all functions, 6.1.1 types of function, advantages of function, function signature, function components, scope variables in functions, parameters, local and global functions. So these are the topics we will discuss. 6.2 was which we excluded passing arguments and returning arguments. These are the now out of syllabus from your course, and function overloading is also out of syllabus from your course. So according to the 6.1 topics, our first question is what is a function? Explain different types of function used in C++ with example. The definition of function is a group of statements that perform a specific task, that perform a task. Any function perform a specific task. Every C++ program has at least one function which is a main function. It means that simply if I explain the definition of function, C++ or C is nothing but the combination of a different function. You check in the previous program, all the programs having at least one function which was the main function. You can say that main is the starting function of C or C++ program. Without main function, we cannot start our C program or C++ program. So over here, function is a group of statements. To explain this topic, function, what is the function? If I say in a school, there are different kinds of different departments are there. For example, account section, examination section, library section, administration section. So each and every department perform a specific task. Let's say examination section perform only the specific task of results and with the all the related thing with the examination. Similarly, account section is a function in a real life function. So account section belongs to the specific is its specific task is they are collecting the information and they give the admission, taking the fees like this one. So each and every department performs its specific task. So over here, the function definition is a group of statements, group of that perform specific tasks. Every C++ program had at least one function which is main function. Function are one of the main building blocks of any programming language. Main building blocks of any programming language. Creating a program using function makes it easier to understand, edit, check error, etc. Why I am saying that easier to understand? For example, in the previous programming, in the previous chapter, when we were developing a program, let's say teacher says our program requirement is this: write a program which add two numbers, which add two numbers. So addition is a problem. Now, to extend the complexity of a program, they says write a program which add and subtract and multiply and divide. When you develop this kind of program, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division in the same one program, so code will be mixed to each other. It means that no a layman person cannot understand where you are performing the specific task of addition, subtraction and multiplication and division, where you perform the task. Now, if I divide that program into different segments, for example, if I divide the addition is a separate portion, multiplication at the separate portion, and division at the separate portion, subtraction at the separate portion. So each and every portion of the program will perform a specific task, and this one is known as the function, and it will reduce the complexity of a program and it makes the easier to understand. So if any error will be there in a specific task, for example, my program is not performing the addition process, so I will check only the function of addition. Or if the multiplication is not performing properly, so I will check only the multiplication function. So this is the definition of the function. Next one is types of function. C++ are divided into two types: library or built-in functions, user-defined function. So this one is simply, you can say that as the keywords and the variables are user-defined words. In chapter number 3, already we have discussed about the keywords. Those words which have predefined meaning in the compiler of any language is known as keywords, or keywords or predefined words or reserved words. So over here, there is a not words, but there is a library function. So it means that definition of library or built-in function is this: those functions which are already defined in the compiler of C++ language is known as library function, or we can call it built-in function. And user-defined function, I say it is related with the definition of variable. The definition of variable, user-defined names are called the variable. But user-defined functions definition is simple definition over here is: when I developed my own function, let's say to reduce the complexity of a program, I want to develop some kind of function, so they will be known as user-defined function. Now we will explain the library or the built-in function. I told you those functions which are already present or already present in the compiler of C++ language, they are called the library function or the built-in function. Definition of library or built-in function is this: library or built-in functions are predefined function. Predefined means already they exist in the compiler of language. In the compiler dictionary, compiler has a small kind of dictionary, and some functions are already stored in the compiler. Like keywords are present in the compiler. So like if, else, they are the reserved word. But over here we will discussing about the library function. Library or built-in function are the predefined functions in C++ programmer. Do not need to write code for them. So no need to write code for them. Only header file must be included in the program to use the library or the built-in function. I will tell you which header file will be used for the which kind of function. Let's say some example of commonly use library or built-in functions are. This one is ABS absolute. If you want to find the absolute function belonging to the absolute function belongs to the mathematics division get character. So already we have discussed get character, log, log function, pow power function, put character, put as square root, string comparison, time, etc. There are many functions are present in the compiler of C++, in the compiler of C++ language. So these functions, some examples, so all of these functions, not only these functions are present. Let's say another one, clear screen is a function you mostly use in your programs. Get ch is a function you are using in your program. Excuse me. Now we will use some kind of maths function in our program, and how we will use this built-in function in our program. Watch here, program. This is the this is the comment statement. Program to find the square root of a number using square root built-in function. This says you will have to use square root. Now, what is the function of square root in the mathematics? Let's say square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 25 is square root of 25 is 5. So according to this, we will use the square root built-in function. No need to perform any calculation, just perform the square root, write the square root function, and automatically it give you the result. So these are known as the square root. These are known as the built-in function. Watch here how to develop this program. Hash include iostream.h, hash include connu.h, hash include maths.h. Now this is the library or header file which is used for the maths function. So maths function I will use in my program. Which maths function I will use? Square root, SQ. You will not write the complete word, only SQRT. It is the reserved word. SQRT is the reserved word for the square root function. So in order to access this function in my program, I must include the maths.h library in our program. Void main, I take two variable of type float. One is n variable, another one is square root variable, SQ root variable. So as you know that variable is the user defined name. You can write any name, SQ root, whatever you want to write in your program. So cout, enter a number n. Let's say when I enter my number, watch here the output. This first of all, this message will be appear on the screen. Cout, enter a number, and as I assign the value to n is 25. Now I want to find the square root of a 25. What will be the square root of a 25? So I will use the square root variable. SQ root is equal to square root, and within the parenthesis, I use the same variable n, which having the value 25, and it will give the value to the this variable SQ root. So now the output should be look like this: square root of this one, square root of this is the message, then n. N is the variable, square n having the value 25 is equal this equal sign is a message, and now square root is the 25, square root of 25 is 5. So this message will be appeared on the screen. Watch here how this one and this program will be executed. First this line, then this line, then see in statement, then this line. When the control comes to over here, at this point, this function sqrt will search its definition. This function will search the definition in the program, and its definition exists where? In the library maths.h. Like when we use the getch or clear screen in our program, so getch definition and the clear screen definition exists in the canio.h program, in the canio.h header file. So each and every header file contains the definition of the specific functions. So watch, let's say C out is an object and C in is an object, and their definition is exist in iostream.h. So each and every header files contains the definition of some kind of specific functions. So this is the simple program of using built-in function in our program. Now, before starting the user-defined function, I will write the same function in my to start the next topic. So we will perform the and show you how you will use the built-in function in your program. Starter was C. New. So hash include iostream.h. Hash include canio.h. Hash include, we use the math.h. Math.h void main float. One was n, another was sq root, or you can take any kind of let's say sqr root, clear screen, cout \n, enter a number. It will ask for the number you enter, C in, and number is, let's say, 20 n. Now, in order to find the square root of n, sq root variable we take for this purpose is equal to sqrt. This is a built-in function, and which value we want to find the square root? We want to find the square root of n. So over here, n and cout statement, I will give the message \n square root of number. This message will be appear on the screen is equal to n square root of number n. Again, you will give the message is equal to some kind of, not necessary to write the message which is written in the book. So message should be reasonable. Now sq root semicolon get ch and termination of the main function, closing of the main function. Just check It says there are 5 error hash include IOStream. Watch here, IOSTREAM. STREAM. Again check. Now 2 errors. There is again spelling mistake over here. INC. INCLUDE. Again run. Now watch here, it is asking me for the number. Let's say I assign the number 49. What is the square root of 49? 7 is the square root of 49. So watch here, square root of a number 49 is 7. So this is the square root function. Now let's say if you want to check the power. Instead of square root, I want to find the power of a number. Power n. Instead, now power of a number n is power containing the two values, power of n 2. So give the any other variable name over here, p. And over here you will use the power. Want to find the power of a 6. So 6 power 2. So its answer should be 36. Watch here. In this program, I use another built-in function which is POW. POW is used for power function. So any number, so any power, let's say I assign n comma 2. N is the value 6. Let and 6 power 2. So if you want to the power, make the 3. So 3 or 4 or what? Let's say we will check, run. What will be the result? Small value, 2 power 4. Result should be 16. 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. So its answer should be like this one, 16. So any kind of built-in function over here, these are the maths function. You can also use a sine function, cos function, tangent function, whatever the built-in function exists in the C++. So over here, the important thing is, so you must include the library, built-in library for the built-in function. So this is the built-in function power, and I already done the square root function for the square root and the power function. Only the math.h library is used in my, I will use the maths.h in my program. So any kind of math function you will put in your program and must put the maths.h. Keep in mind that maths function will be exist in the compiler. Many functions are present in the compiler, but some functions are not belonging to the each and every function of mathematics is not present in the C++. So few function I show you, the square root function, we already solved the power functions of the maths function. You can also calculate the sine value of any function, sine value of any logarithm, log, if you want to find the log of any value. So you can use the same kind of program. Next is user-defined function. Before this topic, we were discussing about the built-in function, and keep in mind, built-in function is those function which have already exist in our C program. They are known as the built-in function. Next is user-defined function. C++ allows programmers to define their own function. It means that now functions are not exist in the compiler, but we will have to make our own function. This function defined by the programmers according to their needs are called user-defined functions. Watch here, for example, XYZ. If I remove these parentheses from here, so this one is the name of variable. When the parenthesis is present with the variable name, it means that they are user-defined function. XYZ was the variable. Now I place the parenthesis. XYZ is now called the user-defined function. ABC, Imran, any kind of name you can apply and put the parenthesis after the name of the variable. So opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis, it will shows that you are going to making the user defined function. Inshallah, we will discuss the user defined function in very detail because it gives the consideration, take the consideration. Tomorrow we will discuss the next topic, same topic, user defined function in very detail. So till take care of yourself, pray for me, pray for all Muslim. Allah Hafiz.